Okay, everybody. So tonight this is our fifth dev stream. I'm with the coding team. I don't know why I did air quotes. Sorry, that felt weird. Um, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and introduce everybody. We're also, I do want to bring up real quick. Alok is not here. Christian Illy. I will be kind of describing what he wanted me to, tell you guys. And then also next week we are going to be doing random gen. So, and that will be the final of the kind of series of us talking about it. And then afterward, we will start doing some playthroughs. So, without further ado, Shawn, if you'd like to introduce yourself, take it away.
Hello, everyone. My name is Shawn Liptak, and I'm the lead programmer here at the Fun Pimps. And I'll be talking about a variety of different stuff that improvements that we made to the game, new features, optimizations, and such.
Cool. And here now we're gonna do a quick switcheroo. Let's see if I can get the timing on this. Nope, I did not. I didn't at all. Mm-mm. Okay, look, there's Zach. Zach, go ahead and introduce
What's up,
yourself.
guys? All right, I'm Zack Roberts. I am on the coding team here, as you can see with my title, programmer there. Yeah, I'm been working on some DMS updates and stuff, and so I guess we'll be getting into that here shortly.
Cool. And then now let's get Steven on here. And I need to get faster at that clicking. Come on. There it goes. Go ahead, Steven.
I'm Steven Dudeck. I'm a programmer, and my main responsibilities are the drone and dismemberment improvements. We'll be seeing some of that later.
Yeah, no, that'll be a lot of fun to see. So, I think what we're gonna do, we're gonna start with actually Zach he's gonna be explaining some things that he did. I'm gonna load up the game. We're gonna set up a scenario for you to see. Hopefully, it doesn't interrupt him explaining it. So let me get him back on the screen. Okay, so Zach, go ahead and get started, and I'm gonna load up the game while you're doing that.
All right.
Take it away.
Well, so yeah, first off, we have really leveled up the complexity of our procedurally generated tracks for DMS. So for your exploration and suspense case, those cases you'll actually be noticing that they have a lot more complexity. We have like these A and B sections going in them, so it's going to sound a lot less robotic, a lot less procedurally generated. Uh, so yeah, they'll sound much more organic. So that's kind of a big improvement. And yeah, we've got it set up to where like within those groups, particularly within primary on exploration, that's one of our groupings. We have it to where like the main instrument, we can like double up on those, and I've done all this regrouping within the system to enable certain types of content to play together and stuff like that. So without getting too much into the technical details, the what you hear whenever you're like just roaming around or like exploring POIs, it's going to have new levels of complexity. It's going to be much more dynamic, and yeah, beyond that, let's see. We've got some like randomness improvements. Not much really to it. As I mean, hard problem to solve, but it's like you'll just see that the music that you hear the tracks that form the pieces of it a little less often. It's like we have to like cycle through all the content before we allow it to play again and stuff like that. So hopefully that feels less chunky, less you know uh, weird. But and the big thing though, and this is the big thing for DMS that is coming with this next update, is that we are going to have a dedicated Blood Moon combat. So we got a bunch of new content for it, thanks to a group called Native Darkness. Yeah, so Yeah, they shipped us a bunch of new content, and it sounds awesome. And the Blood Moon combat will be dynamic on like a whole new level. So what it's going to be doing is it'll be responding in real time to your threat level. So the track itself will kind of cook up and cool down as you get the waves of zombies, and as you kill them and stuff. You'll notice that it's kind of like blowing up. So it'll kind of like boost your intensity and sort of decrease it based on what you're what situation you're in. So yeah, that is going to add a new level of dynamism to the content. And yeah, then the yeah, other than that, we really just got in some new optimizations, have significantly reduced the memory footprint of the system. So uh you know you're welcome to your RAM and all that. But yeah, that's basically it.
Do you want me to go ahead and load up, and we can try and trigger a Blood Moon real fast so that you can
Let's
so
do
they can
that.
hear the music?
Yep.
Okay, so here, I'm going to real fast. Here, I'm going to make it where you all can see what I'm doing over here. So everybody say bye to Zach, because you're not going to see him for a minute. Wait, why am I over here? Okay. I mean, that's fine.
Zach.
Let's do that side. There we go. That's better. That was weird. I don't know why I have a scene that's like that. Okay. So I'm gonna load up this scenario. Basically, I'm just gonna go to a Blood Moon. I need to give myself enough experience to be past level 1. You said.
Yeah, so I mean, just give yourself like
Yeah.
maybe like 30k XP or whatever, and
then run around and get them to chase me, and then that's it. And then we'll start hearing the music.
yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's unfortunately we can't really demo the exploration and suspense changes. Those are just something y'all are gonna have to wait for, because can't make sure that all of those changes will actually be displayed on demand, because it is a random system. But Blood Moon is deterministic, so should get it every time. Yep.
Okay. It's taking a second, everybody. It's that whole streaming in, loading in. Just give me a moment. I can't see chat though. So if I hope everybody's doing good though. Shawn, tell us a joke. Or at least talk to chat while we wait.
Hello, chat. Tell you a joke. I'm not one of those people that busts out the jokes. I just
that's
on the
Oh,
fly.
that's a lot
got
of
a
pressure.
joke.
Just
I know.
be funny.
Tell us something. I don't know. Zach, tell us what your favorite change in Alpha 20 is.
Oh, I mean, come on.
Can't say anything about
I put you.
music.
Yeah, and it can't be your music system, so don't do this. Don't be like, well, of course it's my stuff. Come on.
All right. Do you really want to know? Should I
sure.
give my favorite non-music system related change?
You can suck up and say, what am I?
No, I mean that's what I was gonna do. The integration.
Oh,
I think it's cool.
He is a person after my heart. That's good. Why is this
I
taking so
thought
long?
we just bought that off the Unity Asset Store.
Oh my god.
I'm pretty sure there was something called like Prime Twitchy stuff, and you just drop it in, and it takes about 5 minutes. I think there's like a big on button.
You're killing me here.
Does everything.
We're gonna mute Shawn, everybody. He's banned from this.
I'm pretty sure that.
Oh look! All of a sudden,
saved by the game.
they all know. They saw us testing it for like 3 years. I think they're not gonna believe you, Shawn. Okay.
Don't believe anything I say. 'Cause I'm just that special.
All right, so I'm gonna give myself a bunch of XP. I don't want to show too well. Okay, we're gonna just do it right here, because that's right. We are supposed to stay away from certain parts. So let me do this. I'm just gonna grab How about an AK? Let's do an AK. We're gonna do an AK. That's all we need, everybody.
AK.
We're gonna grab an AK.
Personal
It doesn't even
favorite.
have to be a good one. 7.62. Let's grab some of that. And then I'm going to. I guess I'll just set time. Or actually, here.
Do
I'm
like
gonna-
do like a set time like
do that.
21:45 or something to that effect. So like
Oh, I
right
can't do
around
day
there.
7. I have to do like day 21.
No, do day 7, but like do day 7 at the time 21:45. So kind of like, you know,
Okay.
slides in.
That's what I was to say, man. You're giving me an AK and nothing else, and you're like, you got to do this in front of everybody on day 21 with no perks, no nothing. Just do it.
All right, we're going straight to day 49, boys.
Okay, I'm ready. So, we should have went a little closer. Now we have all this suspense of waiting.
That's how I like it. I mean,
So-
you know, I mean,
So, how many zombies do I need chasing after me to get this this sound going?
so you should actually have Blood Moon all night except for once you killed off like every wave, and it should
Okay, so it is.
terminate at that point.
Do I need to turn up my daily time allotted, or is that
No,
fine?
no, you don't. You might want to increase the volume just a little bit, or
Okay.
yeah, that's. I mean, I don't know. I mean, as long as hey, chat, can we hear this? Okay,
Here, look, we're gonna crank it up. I want y'all to mainly
turn
hear
it
that.
up.
We're gonna turn that up, and then
Shadowy
also
Wolf says, "Yeah, turn it up."
I'm gonna find where's the brightness? Let's turn that up a little bit so you can see everything.
Brightness right there.
Yeah, there we go. That's good enough. Okay. Let me know if y'all hear. Oh God, really? First few moments.
I don't think anybody.
I don't think anyone's hearing any of the music.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay, hold on.
Man,
How about the gunfire? Can you guys hear that?
Yeah, you heard that. Here, let me make sure. It's enabled.
it's enabled. We got
I don't
the.
think you had to do that.
You
but-
didn't. You didn't. Did you mess with the enable dynamic music at all? Don't
Mm-mm.
touch that. But because like it'll just like, yeah, it'll like cause a lot of like content to be reloaded and stuff like that.
Okay. So, was it supposed to play right whenever we started it?
Yeah, it should have started right up. I tested this earlier to make sure we're good.
Okay, now, everybody remember, we are still testing some things.
Yeah.
So, if something doesn't show up right on stream, I can tell you right now, something with the restore power is not going to work right. Maybe the Blood Moon Horde is too scared of me to play the music. Because I feel like that's what's...
Sure. Yeah. My zombies left it.
Well, it's unfortunate. Yeah, I mean, I tested it, several times earlier while I was thinking about being like really nervous showing this on the stream, making sure, absolutely sure that
okay.
it would work. But
So, here, let me make sure there's nothing else. I'm level 61. Stop it. You're embarrassing yourself. Well, I don't know then.
yeah, I mean, we can maybe round back to it. I'll see if I can figure out what's going on. But yeah, I don't. We tested it pretty good earlier.
Here. At least I'll give them something. There we go. Does that make up for it, everybody? Just
That's just like music.
It's not the same.
Confetti is exactly like music. I'm joining your game. Just because I want to see if it works.
What, the music or the confetti?
If I can join your game.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you should be able to.
Well, Shawn, you're not gonna get it.
Play too, but you know how that went. So.
Yeah, I don't think you would get it, Shawn, because you're hosting like a P2P right now.
Yeah.
Lathan, so you should be getting it as host. We did spot an issue earlier where it was like having issues on P2P, specifically with Blood Moon. But yeah, bummer.
I can do this all day.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that looks like Halo. I think you stole that from Halo.
Man, you are all about saying we still have it. Oh, great. That's not good. That's not good. I'm gonna need... Okay. I don't have any repair kits because you forgot to tell me to spawn repair kits.
It's my fault.
Nope. Oh my god, it wasn't that. It wasn't that. Don't die. Don't die. Don't die. You're gonna be okay. Everybody's like, did you just god mode, you cheater?
Maybe we're getting off track right now. I kind of.
We are.
Yeah,
we are.
big time.
Okay, let's
How so quickly it turned into Lathan's confetti party?
I mean, it could just be a fluke. Just try it. Maybe try again here in a bit. But yeah,
do you want me to just set the time to a different one? Here, let's do this. Set time 14:22. Stop it, everybody. Honestly, this is what I was going to show on my time, so we just moved my time slot forward. Okay.
And you're at a non-1 level, right? I mean, I saw you do it. If you look at your character
level
stat
62.
real quick. Okay.
Yeah.
Man. But nothing.
Do you want me to trigger the DMS on and off? See if maybe...
Well, that actually will cause like a lot of like, and it would take a minute to actually doing anything, but it likely, you know, if this issue, I mean, I would probably try starting a new game to see if you can demo it, but I feel like maybe we could round back.
Okay. I mean, that's fine. Well then, why don't we, instead of continuing doing this, what if we move on? So, I think the next thing we're going to actually... I think Steven is going to... Here, let me just kill them. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come up here for a moment. And then I'm going to click back, first of all, so I can see chat. And second, so you can see Steven. So that he can start talking. I will keep this kind of going, so you'll hear a little thunder in the background. Actually, why don't I change the time so that it doesn't... Let's just do this. Let's just do like 2... There. Okay. Seriously. That's, everything's dead. It's now day 2. So we're going to go back so we can see Steven for a bit. Hey, how's it going, Steven? All right. Whenever you're ready.
Alrighty. I'll just start off with a few things, and then here, whenever you're ready, we can kind of get to one in game and take a look at it. To start off, kind of maybe with a little bit of recap. The Junk Drone's a bot companion for intellect players. It benefits from the Robotics Inventor perk. Anyone can use a drone, and only one drone may be active at a time. Higher quality drones will yield more mod slots for customization. Once deployed, the drone will follow the player around unless it's told to stay. Basic abilities are as a pack mule, and it has a base set up 16 inventory slots. The VO, or voiceover, has been completed here for it now. So that brings with it one other beneficial ability where it'll bark if an enemy's coming up nearby and let you know. There's also a couple other different quality of life things. There's now separate different HUD indicators for the drone on the map and on the UI. This will let you know, for example, if you end up dying and a drone's left somewhere, or the drone can also end up taking some damage now, which will also cause it to shut down. And if that does happen, you'll be able to track back to it and find it. Just 1 second. Okay.
Lathan, you could spawn a drone so they can be staring at it while Steve's talking.
Yeah. Let me,
Sure.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to click back over. So, let me find that scene again. Boom. Okay. And then, let me get a drone. Ooh, level 4. Okay. So,
Each of the mods there too.
okay. Let's see. These are all the... Whoop. So... Here, let me grab them all and then we'll go through it in the bag. Do you want to explain all these, or...?
I will here in just a minute.
Okay. You want to just place
Before
it?
we get to that, yep, just go ahead and place it down.
Startup sequence activated.
And there you could just kind of show off and have it follow you around a little bit and everything. Some of the other stuff here that's been added for it now, it also has fully functional storage. It acts like a regular box, can have a password set. So if anything happens in multiplayer, no one's going to steal your stuff. It's now also fully craftable. Takes a few minutes to craft, but to craft the drone will take 5 robotic parts, 10 forged steel, 15 duct tape, 15 scrap polymer, and 2 motion sensors. And it can be made at the workbench. All of these items here that you're going to see, you need to find a book for to get the pattern for first. And now we could kind of just move into checking it out and some of the different mods here.
Okay.
Right there, Lathan was just showing off the ability for the drone to either set up and stay or follow you. In order to mod the drone, you're going to have to pick it back up. And you can go ahead and take your pick there anything you want to check out. I'd mix and match a little bit maybe. So like one storage mod, maybe healing a flashlight or something. Depending on the quality. So at a 4, I think we'll get 2 or 3.
So let's see. Go and add that. And then what do we got? The medic. Ooh, okay. I like that one. Right.
That one's good too. There's 2 of them that have visual effects we can also show, which is the support mod there, the teddy bear, and then also the armor. So when you put the teddy bear on, that should be represented on the drone. You'll see the little teddy bear riding him around. And what this mod specifically does is it will give you a 10% boost to stamina regeneration for anyone else in the area.
It's so cute. It's like the bear's talking to me.
It's not a whole lot, but if you go and run, you should see a little bit of a difference from when you're running for your stamina to regenerate and build up.
Oh, here, hold on. Okay. That's not bad.
How long does it take? How many bolts do you have to feed to the drone before it becomes friendly towards you? Is this the pet everybody wanted?
Just spreading misinformation here, Shawn.
If you're close, I think it should show up for you, Shawn, too. Let me explain where it shows up. It's in the lower left-hand corner. You'll see a little gear icon, and that'll say that you're in range of it, and it'll provide you with that buff. If you don't see that icon, then you're not getting the buff.
Oh, that's good.
Let's just go ahead and do the next visual one there, and you can throw the armor on. This one's a little harder to physically test at the moment, but
wait a minute. So
if you change the time a fair bit, we might be able to get out of this stormy weather stuff so we can see it better.
Leave us alone. We're doing stuff. Okay. So, you want me to take off the...
Go ahead and take off just the support one and toss on the armor.
Okay. And then let's... Ooh, so now it's got a little cage around it.
Yep. He gets a little extra protection.
Hey, little buddy.
That one you could kind of see if you hit it. Really what this mod does is just reduces the overall damage he's taking by half, but right now you can't damage your own drones.
It's too fast for me.
So that's actually a recent fix here. It's so that when you're swinging a melee weapon, you're not going to hit the drone and he's not going to absorb the hit. Since he's your drone, you can't hit him.
My senses have picked up
If you do,
Does the shooting hurt it?
the shooting won't either too if you're
Right. That's
at
good,
least
actually.
you.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
From there,
I feel like I'm about to get hit with a rocket.
How about these rockets? Will that hurt it?
do not hit it with a rocket.
Why not?
I don't think Steven wants that to happen on stream.
Yeah,
Seems like a lot of fun.
there's a little issue with the multiplayer at the moment. I mean, you could try and shoot it in single player, but
Yeah, maybe not. Okay.
it's good fun though. But so the next mod there, I would say we should take a look at here is the healing
Oh, I
mod.
do love an adventure.
And that one you'll want to grab a couple bandages there for too. It'll either accept regular bandages or first aid kits.
Okay. So here, let me... Shawn, you're making me nervous
Power
with
up
that.
complete.
That is my goal.
Okay. And then just put them in here?
Yep.
Right?
Go ahead and put them in.
And then I need to get hurt by something?
Yeah, so you
Shawn,
can
that
either
doesn't mean
take-
hit me.
You can either take 50 damage or just a little bit of damage and then run up and talk to him and ask him to heal you.
Where'd my little buddy go? Oh, there you are. You're behind me.
Trader Jen is just pretty, but I am effective.
That is so cool. It's like Mass Effect.
And then I guess it's 5 more seconds till it can heal me again.
Yeah, so in the lower left, sorry, I saw this pop up here, but you can see with the little drone icon how long it has to go to heal you again.
We should probably change the colors of those, maybe. Yeah. Anyway. No, that's cool. Was there was one more mod, right? The
There's one more mod here that we'll move on to and take a look at, and that is the flashlight mod. You might have to switch back
You
to
know
night
where
for
I'll
that
be
one.
if you need me.
Okay. We can do that. Shawn's got a rocket launcher, so there's no way we're gonna be in trouble. Other than him aiming it at my head. That makes me uncomfortable. But everything else is fine. You're still doing it. Okay. Let's
Powering up. All systems go.
And this one on, you'll probably have to go to night a little bit. So it'll keep focused on you in this state, and it'll kind of give you a little bit of light as you go, move about and run. Or if you tell it to stay, it'll point at you. So if you're in an area fighting something, it'll keep
I'll
your
get
area
it done.
illuminated and continue to point at you.
Ooh, that's nice.
Kind of just like a little free torch.
Okay.
one other visual that's actually new there from the last time too is a little bit of running lights are different than the model. This is the finalized model, and there is a little bit of visual cue you can see there on the flashlight if you look at its eye, glowing up a little bit. That
Yeah.
doesn't happen if you don't have it in.
That's good.
Yes, of course.
Come with me, little buddy.
Yeah, you
Okay.
could run around with it there or try and fight some zombies and stuff with it around using a melee weapon. You should be able to swing through it and hit zombies. It shouldn't kind of get in the way.
Okay, let's see if we can get yeah, I could just spawn one. Doesn't have to be a feral. I was waiting for me to get hit.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
Uh-oh. Okay. Maybe not that one. I'll do a different one.
You guys have to keep me entertained or bad stuff might happen.
Okay. So is there anything else you want to show with it? Currently?
I think that's really maybe if you just wanted to it takes a bit of time, but you could suicide and show off the mini map so people know what to look for.
Oh,
It's
you
the
mean show where it
HUD
is on the...
icon.
Oh,
Yep.
okay, yeah. Well, I mean, I could probably just do...
It only shows up when it's in a shutdown state on the mini map.
Okay, wait a minute. Yeah, it came with me whenever I teleported.
Yep.
Alright, so you're saying whenever I die.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my god, come on. A little higher, everybody. I should have just ate some glass. I can't even kill myself right, everybody. It's because I'm just not used to dying very much. Oh my god, are you kidding me?
If
Okay.
you didn't leave, I could blow you up with this dynamite.
Master, we are
Sorry, everybody. I'm just not used to dying. So it's a very new concept for me. I just...
Die so poorly.
I know. I tried and tried, but it's just too hard to get killed. Okay. I was going to laugh if
No.
it spawned me right next to it. Okay, so you're saying... Yeah,
Now
it's
if
just
you
right
look
there.
at the mini map. Yep.
Yeah.
And it should be, I mean, Sean could confirm, but it should be shut down right now until you return over there. So if you came up a little ways away from it, it wakes back up when you come in range.
There it is. And
Unfortunately,
then oh, yeah. Nope. It did. It was sitting on the ground, and then it went whoop, and came at me. So no, that's
If you can
good.
hear the volume too, it has some new barks and stuff as well for that. So a little comedic relief from all its voiceover. And yeah, I think that's let me check really quick, but I think that covers most of this stuff for the drone. Yeah, we can go ahead and move on to the dismemberment stuff here.
Okay. So, let me go back to a daytime. Pretty sure I saw a wolf over there. Okay, so you want to show here? Let me just kill all before they do that. So you need me to spawn. Here, let me grab.
It'll be you
Goodbye
can
then,
also
for now.
use the command TDS, T and D as a dog, and S. That'll make it so the dismemberments happen every time.
TDS. Okay. Okay, so I need to spawn.
Zombie
Steve, right?
Steve.
Zombie Steve.
And you can pick either a blade or a blunt weapon, and dealer's
Oh.
choice. You can start off with whatever you wish. We have two different varieties here at the moment. Both of them are going to have a little bit different visual aesthetic, but both of them can also have the chance to dismember a limb at the moment. So that was just one for the head there.
Okay,
What is...
let's get another Steve going.
that didn't look correct though.
Did it not?
Yeah, it should have been one with an animation.
Okay, so TDOs, dismemberment testing enabled, true.
Try a blade weapon.
Yeah, let's try a blade. Nope, that doesn't look right.
No, yeah, they're sharing the same one.
Was it that Steve or a different Steve?
Oh, I know what's going on. It's because it's not activated yet in the XML. So.
Okay.
So it's going as well as our music. Huh.
Okay, well, if you send me real fast with the XMLs, I could just change it.
That's what I'll do, and we can, or we can just kind of come back to it here a little later, towards the end. I'll send you
keep
the
coming back to
entity classes, and we'll get that working.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We can come back to that.
Circle back around next year, next Christmas. We'll plan that for you guys.
Don't worry, everybody. You will get to see it. We'll get figured out real quick. So I guess if we can't show that right now, then I guess we should go back to. I guess it's my turn, right? I think it's my turn.
Well, actually, Dolly said we've got a like a repro for Blood Moon Combat working, so we could demo that.
Okay, that's fine. What do I do? You tell me.
So
Lead
go
on.
ahead and so if you want to, could you just go ahead and like make a new game?
Oh yeah. Sean, I'm
that
leaving.
sucks.
I'm leaving you, Sean.
So sad. I was staring at the grass.
Oh, well, you're gone now. Okay, what's the repro?
All right,
Start
so
up the
what
game?
we're gonna do, just start a new Navigaine, and just fire it up.
We need like elevator music for the loading screen. Sorry.
So our repro is drop a bedroll, XP up, and then just set the time to during Blood Moon, I guess.
So you're saying that I should have had a bedroll.
That's
problem.
that's the working repro
That's-
we've got here.
I just
Repros usually to find a bug. We're trying to make this thing work with repro conditions. So
I think
Okay.
the repro would be you don't place a bedroll, and then it's broken.
yes,
Get that backward. The repro is
Yes.
not fixed.
Yes.
It's the
no. Yeah, we're fixing it with the set of steps.
we're reproducing the good stuff. Okay.
Here comes the good. All right, so
Let's see. What color do I want
Bedroll.
to use for
No.
this time? How about let's do green.
Look, guys, tinted. I don't know if anybody's showing off the tinted.
I think we showed it already, or we at least told them it was there.
and I did step out, by the way, and I actually made sure I had it working in with an engine, so it was working there, and I guess Dolly was able to get it working. So
Okay.
this is it's unfortunate that this is the only place it's failing.
Okay. No. We're good, everybody. We're gonna
When
do
you
this
placed your
again.
sleeping bags before, I wouldn't think you'd be testing it like that.
Stop
All
poking
right.
holes in it, Sean.
I'm just saying, when I test stuff, New World, I'm not laying down sleeping bags. You think, that would be your default case of, hey, start the Blood Moon. I don't have a sleeping bag now.
Yeah.
But I
No, I
guess-
would have.
Zach is very security minded. Make sure he
Dude.
gets his sleeping bags down
He
every time.
is.
Oh
He
yes,
is
yes,
all over
very
it,
well.
everybody. Let's see. Can't I just start just do that?
Okay, yeah, you're good on XP. So yeah, that should be it. Let's see.
Come on,
Are we
music.
getting it? Come on.
Oh God. Come on. Does it take a second?
Oh, so Dolly is saying you didn't have any home music either. So it's like DMS just isn't awake at all.
Okay, hold on. Well, that wasn't a good idea. I should have done 0, 0.
You should have music on your bedroll.
Okay, well then here, let's go all. Let's just stand on this bedroll for a sec. So you're saying if I just stand here,
Yeah, you should. Well, I mean, right now, well, yeah, I guess because it's day 2. Yeah, you should have music on your bedroll. You got nothing?
let's go back to the options. Make sure. This is fun, everybody. You're getting to see the process that we do this at. What if I really want to flip that on and off? I don't know why. It's that whole like unplugging it and plugging it back in. For some reason, I just really want to hit that button. You keep telling me no. That's not.
Yeah, that's yeah, man. I mean, it's really unfortunate.
I'm doing it. Nope. This is happening. Wait.
Yeah, if you then if you adjust that and apply, did you apply that? I think, yeah.
Okay.
So it'll take a minute before you get any music with this, but
I want to hear it. Come on. Play it for me. Does anybody hear it yet?
it's gonna take a good bit because it like offloads the content because we don't want to be like using any memory for stuff no one's gonna be using.
It has to write the music first.
Yes.
The creative composer is currently thinking about the music and what kind of style it wants based upon your picture and your info it stole off the internet. That's where AI really does.
Yes.
It analyzes your life and figures you out. We bought.
Shawn is our biggest troll, everybody.
We bought it from Google.
Just letting you know.
On the App Store.
You know, we came here tonight hoping he'd give good information, but man, is he just all over the place. Believe at least some of it.
It's better this way because then it's more surprising. Because then when they actually get the game, they won't know what's real and what's not, and then they'll be surprised by what's actually in the game versus what's not in the game.
Oh my gosh, what is this? While we wait, are those icons showing?
Has that not been seen yet?
No, it hasn't. Actually,
Oh,
this
look.
was a part of one of the things I was
And
going to
you're
show.
next, so you can just
I know.
tell
Talk
us
about a segue, everybody. Oh my gosh. Did you see that, everybody? We here. Let's keep going. Come along with me, chat. Come along with me. We're gonna do. God, seriously, more plant fibers? Okay.
And if you couldn't tell because it's rainy and dark again, those were rocks.
Yeah. Here, let's go for. Randomly it died. Okay. Let's spawn some clothes. I'm gonna talk about all this in a minute. We're just kind of bouncing back and forth between stuff. I'm gonna go stand on this bedroll and hopefully hear music.
Someone wants to know where the icons are for the plant fibers. Shouldn't there just be a giant sea of yellow?
I was about to say it would just be, just everywhere. So,
Come
no,
on,
you're
that's
not.
what we should do for helping you out in your quest.
I mean,
There
isn't
should
this
be
enough?
yellow around you everywhere.
Isn't this enough, everybody?
Yeah, there's so much grass in the game now that pretty much you can close your eyes and spin in circles and just click some, and you'll probably collect some grass.
Ooh, a stone. Yeah, let's go over here. There. Okay, we got that step. Now what else you got? Is there anything else we could use? Seriously, no. I was about to say, man, birds' nests are so hard to find, everybody. Oh man, and where am I gonna find plant fibers? Oh, this is the worst. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the bedroll because I'm assuming by now right? right, Zach?
You should be hearing something probably by now. For some reason, it's like the music system just is like, nope, I'm not doing anything for you. But it's working for me with an engine, and it's working for Dolly as well.
That's weird.
That's really strange.
Yeah, well, I think at this point we should just. It ain't happening. So
Dolly, we've got like a video uploading to YouTube. Actually, it looks like it's finished.
Okay.
So you can see that.
Okay.
hum for us. Hum a few bars and
Show us.
the ideal.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. Okay.
I meant
So, oh yeah, Zach. Go ahead, Zach.
You want me to sing a song?
Will you please hum what the Blood Moon music sounds like?
You just sang. You didn't make the
Just-
music.
Yeah, I don't even know what it sounds like. You're gonna have to do it. So just
It sounds like it sounds kind of the same but different each time that it plays. That's kind of it's like
So,
it all matches.
that is the
on a-
worst description ever.
like,
It sounds
I
the
know.
same
No,
but different every
No,
time.
It's
You'll
not
see.
like
You'll
that.
see what I'm talking about. It's like because of the way that we have to match tracks together. It's like everything had to be kind of interchangeable. So like, it's like different expressions of a similar theme. It's the best way of putting it.
Okay.
Uh,
Well, so let's do this for now. Here, I'm going to actually hold on. I'm gonna cough, and then I'm going to actually I'm gonna go back to just showing, just me, so I can talk a little bit about some of the things that I've done during this alpha. I think that would be better, and then we'll click back in, and we'll look at a few of them. Though I will say I've already showed you a few. So here. So no, not that one. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, everybody. Once again, I'm Lathan Meadows. I'm the one who did. Let's see. This alpha, I've been working on Twitch stuff, Quest stuff. We have a new block trigger system, which I'm going to show you in a little bit. And I think that's the majority of what I've done this alpha. And hey, I was thinking about doing that actually. I was going to pre-record something and have me over here, but I was like, man, that's going to take way too long. That's a lot of effort to commit to. I'm not doing that. So the double is the best you were going to get. So anyway, as you can see, or as you saw, the intro quest, we did some changes to. I added in, the icons that show you where stuff is. We changed around the quest progression. So now you have to do a certain number of quests at each trader. You get a nice reward for completing the tier 1. I don't really want to give it away fully, but there's a very good reward for the tier 1 complete. Let's see what else. As far as quests, there's a very big change to the buried supplies. Now it requires a rally marker, and I don't want to say anything else about it. There's a surprise in there, but I really want to catch people off guard with that surprise. I feel like I'm doing that a lot with you all. Sorry, I'm just like, there's this, but I don't want to tell you about it because that's it. What else? We want 2 primes.
All a giant surprise.
Okay. And then also, let's see. The Twitch integration stuff, you can actually come on Mondays and Fridays to the stream, and you can see the Twitch integration stuff. I don't really have to explain too much. You saw the confetti. That's the celebrate. Okay. I can't do this. I'm looking over and seeing myself in double. I can't. I can't focus, everybody. My brain is not processing.
I liked it.
Oh, I know you did, but I kept glancing because I have OBS over here, and every time I look over, I see Toomey, and they're like,
Right now. But besides that, I don't think I had any brain damage from it.
I have a little bit, but I mean it's neither here nor there.
I mean, that's just normal for programming, I think.
Let's see. As far as okay, so I can give you a brief description of the Twitch stuff that I did. So for Alpha 20, we now have a new voting system. It will pop up at increments that you define. There's, I think, 4 different kinds of votes currently. There's a boss horde. There's kind of like a horde or crates. There's 2 different kinds of buffs. One's like our silly buffs, and then ones are kind of utility buffs. What else? Events. So now you can actually wire up to say, now this is going to require, so this won't be on by default in vanilla, but you can actually go into the XML and wire up events based on bit donations, subs, gift subs. Like you don't even have to, if you want, now you can turn off the actions entirely and do everything through just straight up bit donations. And you know, like if someone gifts 1 sub, then it'll spawn a bear. If they gift 3 subs, it'll spawn, you know, a pack of vultures. I mean, that requires you to customize that. That is not something that will be default in vanilla, but the functionality is there for you to do. You can set up by channel points. You can set up raids. You can say, and actually another thing, it will give points to people. It's all customizable, but you can say, if someone raids me with more than 10 people, give them 2,000 points. Things like that. There's a lot of different ways to customize it now. So if you don't like having like the chat on the screen, you can do it a whole nother way now. It can even still use the cooldown, so it can still have that kind of balanced feel where you can't get overrun, and you can actually get stuff done. So that's all there. What else? As you saw, we did add some silly effects. There's more to come. And if you're interested in any of the Twitch stuff, once again, I do stream that on Mondays and Fridays. So if you just come back here on those days, you can see it in action. It will be for Alpha 19, though. It's like the stuff has moved over to 19. What else? So I talked about the buried supply. Okay, the block triggers. So now we have a system. We just started using it, but now there will be switches that you can hit that will open doors, turn on lights, things like that. We're going to do a lot more with that in Alpha 21. But for Alpha 20, we're going to be using it for little things. Like we have the Restore Power Quest. Whenever you turn on the generator, it will activate, let's say, a switch and make it where you can hit that switch to open up a garage door, which is actually an example I will be showing you in a minute. But there's other examples where it turns on lights. It can unlock containers. It can... There's a bunch of things. It can break falling traps so that you can have zombies fall down. I mean, it's all... Okay, I will say this, though. This is all built into the POI. So this is not a player thing that you can put in. This is something that we will be using to make more interesting POIs. Oh, and then the Restore Power, which I just touched on, but that quest is coming. Still needs a little bit of work. Spawns aren't happening yet, but we're really close on it. And yeah, I could show you a little bit right now. Let me do this. Okay, let me move chat over for the moment. So I'm not going to show you any Twitch stuff. Like I said, if you want to see that, just come back on one of the other nights. You can see it the whole time. But I will show you... Let me get the game back up. And I will show you one example. Let's go to editing tools. Yeah, that's fine. I don't know which one it's going to. Okay, so I don't know which map it's going to load up. It's probably the right one. And Eric told me I'm allowed to show it. I don't think we showed this one. And, yeah.
What are you
So I
loading?
would...
Random world?
No. I'm the editor. I'm going to load
you're
one...
loading a POI. I see.
Yeah, one POI.
I was only half listening to you.
That's fine. It's fine.
The
It
usual.
happens. It's business as usual. That is not the one. Nope. That is not where I'm supposed to be. Now I just have to remember which one it is. I think it's 05. Yep, that's the one. Okay, wait. Let me look inside and make sure everything's still how it should be. I'm just gonna poke my head in. Yep. Okay, everything's like it should be. Okay, I was a little worried. So I can, yeah. Let's just show it in action. I was gonna show you how to set it up, but I don't know if that's interesting to everybody. Some of you would find that interesting, but let's just go ahead and play test it. Yeah. So give me just a minute to load this up. How's everybody enjoying this though? How's everybody feeling about all this? You enjoying the changes you're seeing tonight? Even though we had little hiccups.
Oh, yeah, I love it. It's great.
Oh, I know you do, Shawn. Okay, so excuse me. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. Actually, we're gonna do this. Do I want to do? Okay, we're gonna do this two ways. I want to show it to you. I'm gonna grab a pistol. We're gonna run in there. Actually, you know, funny enough, I don't even know how to get down to the room that I've been doing this in this whole time. So we're just gonna cheat. Okay, so we somehow made it down here. Hi. Okay, so an example of what I was talking about is this switch right here. Let's see, we come over here, and just as you would expect, I press E, the door opens. Actually, the door over there opened and the light turned on. It's pretty straightforward. And sorry, by the way, the editor kind of causes a little bit of stuttering. Oh shit, that's right. There's a... Oh god, I forgot about him. Now, this was how it's going to work in Sandbox. Let me now go back up and turn on the Restore Power quest. Now, like I said, the Restore Power quest is not done. There's actually going to be some... And I don't even know if we really want to tell you exactly what it's going to do. There's going to be some zombies that come. I feel like we should keep a little bit of a surprise. It's not going to be as easy as this looks right here. Okay. So... Here, let me do this, by the way. It's a lot more interesting at night because all the power's out. But you can't really see. Like, the light's out over there. This light was on. The lights over there. All the lights are off. I'm still going to probably cheat my way in the same way because... First off, I don't want to give away the whole POI. And second, I honestly don't know how to get up there. Or get down there. So we're just going to fall through. So it's a lot darker down here now. Now, something you'll notice this time is that I can't see well enough to shoot all these guys. Stop it. Stop it.
Hey, if only you had a drone with a light on it.
Oh my god, that would be helpful. But wait. It's not... Oh, I should really make that not even light up whenever it's not active. Okay, well anyway. It's not powered. What's going on here? It's almost as if I need to do the quest. So I come over here to turn on the generator. Timer's going to be a little longer. And something else is going to happen during that. And then boom. Oh my god. Light happened. And a switch. And then now I can activate the switch. You know, It's a little lackluster at the moment because we don't have the sounds and everything wired in, but you get the point. You know, it's... You gotta get the feel of what's going on here. And this one's not gonna do the cool effects. Stop it. Stop it. Nope. I do want to bring up something. Here, die for a sec. There is no light up here. Everything is turned off. Now let's go turn on that other generator.
What's
now,
it going to do?
This one's not going to do the fancy light show. It's only going to stay on that red because I didn't get a chance to wire it up. But lights turn on. We come up here. Oh my god, more lights are on. Oops, that one was not supposed to turn off. Hey, the lantern's still turning off. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, that's really it. I can show you some other instances. But for the most part, that is everything as far as the restore power goes. You
Can
go
we
find some
craft the
generators.
switches?
Can
Somebody,
you craft one? Wait, what?
somebody asked if we could craft the switches, the
No.
light switches. That, I assume, on the wall.
Mm-mm.
Sorry.
You
sorry.
cannot. Sorry, everybody.
Also,
Because okay, here, let's go back to the editor. I mean, you can craft them, you just can't do anything with them. So, I mean, and by that I mean you would have to mod it in that you craft them. Not, I mean, I guess you can mod it in to do what the other switch does, the electrical switch. So, okay, hold on. Okay, so just so that you know, the reason how these work, or how these actually work is, I come here and I set what triggers they do. This is not something that will be in game. This is only in the editor. But you set numbers based on what triggers it will activate. So like this switch triggers number 2, it's triggered by 3. This one over here triggers 3. So those are things that won't be built into the standard game. That is just in the prefabs. That's a good question. Are the generators invulnerable, or can they be destroyed? I think they're going to work just like the satchels. Whenever you destroy them in game and there's still a quest using them, it will just pop it right back in. Other than that, I'm trying to think. Quests, triggers. I mean, I think that's pretty much it for me. I think now we can turn it over to Shawn. I will, here, let me exit. I'll go to the menu. And then I'm going to get Shawn showing again.
you just load Nav's game.
Oh, okay. You're like, no, don't do that. Just get Naviskate back up on the screen. Well, never mind then, everybody.
How many questions?
And remember, everybody,
You
we
just reached
we are having a Q&A at the end of kind of our presentations here, just like we do every other night. So, yeah. And I do need to do one thing, because I now have... Okay, wait, Steven, do I just drop that whole file in there? For the entity classes?
Yep, it's either that or it's that line number you can just uncomment Zombie Steve, and it should start working.
Oh, okay, well, let's do that. Okay, give me just a moment.
Yeah, I figure that's probably the safest way in case there was any other minor changes.
Wait, what's that line called?
Their number was 819, and it was Zombie Steve.
819. Oh, I see it. Okay. Okay. So after we do a little bit more, then we'll round back over to Steven, who should now have his dismemberment. Whew, a lot of bouncing around, everybody. Yeah. Give me just a moment. Okay, so go ahead, Shawn. What do you want me to do?
All right, well, let's see. First thing I want to talk about is optimizations. Everybody loves those optimizations, and even if some people think we don't, we're always trying to do optimizations here and there. Something that's always on my radar. Pretty much every week when I'm working on some piece of code, I'm cleaning up something or optimizing something. It's just, in general, a lot of optimizations are small, and you don't see, any particularly great improvement from them. So actually, you can show the frame rate graph right now if you open up the console, Lathan. I can show you how I look for spikes. Type in GFX space G space FPS space 400. That's a good number. Hit enter. Close the console. So see, that's a nice little graph there of the frame rate of the game, and that's a good way to look for spikes. For basically, you're scrolling around the world and like chunks load, zombies spawn, stuff like that. Trees come in, things load, unload, and typically in the past, the game has had some rather large spikes. A lot of it doing with like chunks loading and unloading and such. So a lot of the work for Alpha 20, a lot of the optimizations have basically been more for eliminating spikes versus just increasing FPS in general. Since those are typically harder to get, it's hard for us to just make the game all of a sudden, 20 FPS higher, because a lot of those kind of optimizations have already been done in the past years. So a big one that was made for Alpha 20, possibly the biggest optimization in making the game smooth, is Unity has a new way you can bake collision meshes, and we actually do them on a separate thread now. And what would happen before is anytime a chunk would load or a block would get damaged, or you would add a block or remove a block, the collision mesh for that entire block would have to get regenerated, and it's actually fairly slow. Now there's a system set up to where it gets passed off to another thread that actually runs the block, the mesh generation. Unity creates that, and then it gets passed back to the main thread. And that actually makes the game quite a bit smoother. So, Lathan, if you just like run around in circles, you can basically just, just travel some, whatever, run down the road. You guys can basically see the spikier that graph is, that means, we have issues with, if there were big drops in that graph, that means we have issues with the game. It actually kind of looks like you probably have VSync on, I would guess, because you have a nice flat graph going there. If you turn VSync off, you can typically see the raw numbers much better. But yeah, so that's the big one for 20, and there's been a variety of other little optimizations just with how code handles various bits of data with meshes and chunks and stability calculations and all kinds of stuff like that. I did make a change recently. Some people had issues with light at dusk and dawn. You get steep light angles. Yeah, you guys
Saw
can
nothing.
that little glitch there.
Saw
Steep light
nothing.
angles causing very long shadows. So that's been adjusted recently to try to reduce the amount of long shadows in the game. So that'll help with some people. Our quality settings for the game have been tweaked. Some things like shadow distances have been adjusted to try to give us better performance to match our low, medium, high, ultra settings. So there's been some tweaks done from there. we now have an auto detect, so the first time you run the game, or if we bump the version number for the graphics setting, which we have when you get Alpha 20, it's going to reset your graphics settings. The auto detect now looks at your VRAM, RAM, and your GPU. It looks for certain GPUs, AMD, NVIDIA ones with certain names, and it makes a educated guess on what your default quality setting should be. I was looking at our statistics a while ago. Turns out 55% of our players do not touch their quality settings. So they're basically all playing the game on medium default settings. And in some of those cases, they could definitely be playing high or maybe even ultra. So this is, so hopefully this will get some people who don't understand graphics settings, who don't want to mess with any of that kind of stuff, they don't know what all those fun words mean in there. It'll simply guess and find something good for them. Actually, just a few days ago, I put in the auto detect for low. If you're playing on some really horrible, old, low-end hardware, it will try to push you down to low instead of keeping you on medium. You can still, of course, go in there and change the settings how you want manually after the fact. But it is nice for just new people installing the game, or when we release new alphas, it gets everything into hopefully a good guess. A new feature that was added, we actually have new anti-aliasing in the game. We have a temporal anti-aliasing, which is a fancy, high-end anti-aliasing. Actually, Lathan, so if you hit the escape key and go to quality. So your anti-aliasing is set to temporal. So this is a fun one. That temporal anti-aliasing also has a sharpening option. So that's what the second slider is there underneath it. And by default, he's playing on ultra, which is, I don't know if he's got the hardware for ultra, but some people love to just put it on ultra because they think the computer is, the Terminator can.
Hey, it's handling it. I mean, it's not stutters a little, but I mean, it's handling it.
And sometimes the game doesn't play as well, but you're like, well, ultra isn't for everybody. In fact, it's really not for a lot of people. But so ultra and high actually have temporal anti-aliasing on by default. If you take that sharpening option so we can see the effect, put it all the way up to 100%, and then close back. If you look at stuff, I'm not sure how well it's going to show through on Twitch, but
okay, I mean, it shows really good for me.
Yeah, it really sharpens the world up. So, that's certainly, the artists don't want it anywhere up that high, but it is available because I know some people would like to. Some people play with such things and use like ReSharper or whatever other things to make their games to change how their graphics look. So why not? If you want to set it up to 50 or 100%, you can. The defaults are only like 5% I think on high and 10% on ultra. I kind of like it around 20%, but it's a nice free bonus for having temporal anti-aliasing in the game, which actually the main benefit temporal aliasing gives you is it reduces when you have motion, like you're running through the world, driving the vehicle through the world. It actually will, a lot of the kind of jaggy edges you see on stuff, kind of flickering. Temporal anti-aliasing actually detects the motion and increases the anti-aliasing. It actually smooths them out. So it kind of gives just a general better look to the world. The things you're looking at off in the distance flicker less and it looks nicer. One more new feature we have, which we have full screen exclusive mode, which was requested by a few people. It's basically just another version of full screen, but it takes over your main monitor, so Windows is not rendering underneath and not using any like the frame buffer. So most games these days don't use it by default. They just use like a big borderless window, full screen window when you're in full screen mode. But it is available. It does allow, because it actually changes the video mode of your monitor instead of just scaling it to your desktop, whatever your desktop resolution you're running, like Windows in. It actually will change the monitor's physical resolution, and it's just there for people that want to use it. It's not 100% reliable. Sometimes you try to switch to a certain resolution and your monitor doesn't support it, your operating system doesn't like it, and Unity will pick some weird resolution you didn't want. We have code in there now that detects the failure and just switches you back to a window. Yeah, so that's all of our optimizations in our new settings and such. That's everything that we've done in there. Now let's get to terrain changes, of which plants is a big one, and there's some plants right there. You're looking at them. So grass has gone through a whole variety of changes. The meshes that we use to create the grass, actually, if you stare down like that piece of tall grass right in front of your face, if you stare down and look at it, you'll see the geometries. That's actually doing like 3 faces. A lot of that stuff used to just be 2 faces. So you basically would have like a plus symbol if you look down at it from above. All that stuff's been tweaked. The mesh generation's all the code's been rewritten for that. And now we do more complicated shapes. We do pretty much, you won't get pluses on any of that stuff. You'll get at least 3 planes. It looks much more 3D, and the sizes, the distances, all that stuff's been adjusted. The shaders have been updated for how it draws them. And the art itself has gone through a variety of tweaks. So if you look forward a bit, if you change your time slider again, you can
Yeah, I know.
Stop the rain. That's another thing I'm going to talk about next is the weather. But if we can get the sun back out, there we go. So if you walk into a patch that's open, like right forward and to your left, that's what we have. This is short grass. So we have this new short grass in the game. That's a brand new texture. We only have one of them right now. Hopefully we'll have some more other variations of short grass in the future. But that is actual grass that you can harvest. It's meant to be a in-between filler between flat ground texture and fall plants. And we have a whole lot of that stuff in the game now. The forest biomes have been tweaked so that there's more variety, because basically we have all these sub-biomes that go in each biome. So the forest has around 7 sub-biomes. Their percentages for plants, like basically types of grass, have been tweaked. Short grass has been added to all of them. And we have a new short grass sub-biome that basically is just a lot of short grass. So you'll occasionally see these big patches of short grass. And if you notice the general contrast between all the plants, between the ground texture, short grass, tall grass, has all been adjusted, so it's much more consistent with each other, blends together much nicer, and it looks a lot better than it used to look. And then actually, if you can fly over to the snow, if you head up north, fly yourself over to the snow biome, that's the best place to see. Terrain normals have gone through a tweak. We used to have an ugly issue where you would see a lot of hard right there. So if you look at any of those rocky sections of snow where you see those hard rocky slopes like on the hills and stuff,
yep,
you'll see now that there used to be hard edges along a lot of that stuff. The artist did not like them. It was an issue with how the normals were generated and causing hard edges and stuff. That's basically been fixed. There's new normal generation code that does a different method, averages them together. And so now the snow biome, if you just like scroll around through those, find the mountainous, lumpy, rocky areas, you'll basically see it's just nice and smooth and continuous. All the blending's good, and the artists like it. So, so that was a little bit of work to get that all sorted out. And performance is about the same as it was before. It didn't take too much performance yet. And yeah, it's just clean, smooth, transitions are good, looks nice. Yeah, so I think, Dave, so that's everything for plants, terrain. Now you'll see it's snowing right there, and it's looking fairly fogged. So weather has undergone a good amount of changes. I rewrote a fair amount of the code with how the randomness works. Before, weather could basically, it would just vary itself up and down randomly by a small increment. So what could happen is you could essentially get stuck with the same weather for long periods of time, because it may go down a little bit, back up a little bit, down a little bit, back up a little bit. And net result is your weather didn't really change much. And look at that grass blow in the wind. So the weather now changes much more frequently, and it doesn't last quite as long as it used to. There's some new combinations of weather, like there's some heavier fog, thunderstorm type things, and the wind that was part of the weather simulation was never actually hooked up to the graphics. So now all the plants and trees, their animations that they do are tied into the actual wind speed. So you can see it's slowing down there. And it has wind gusts built into it. So as in real life, the wind, gusts up for a few seconds, dies back down, gusts up. So it's doing both a general speed based on the type of the weather, and it's doing gusts on top of that. And yeah, so it's all been kind of tweaked and rebalanced, and that's what you're seeing there. Much more interesting weather, less, the old plants always waved at the same speed constantly forever. It gets kind of old and boring after a while. And yeah, the desert sky looks basically like it did before, someone just asked. So that's everything for weather. That's where weather is at. It's pretty much done. There's a few little bugs still in it. There's actually a sync bug between clients of having the same weather, but I think that's about our only issue that needs to be worked out. Someone just asked, is that lag going to affect movement? It actually doesn't at all, because the changes to weather are basically free as far as performance is concerned, because it already had a speed. It's a shader effect, and all it's doing is changing a single speed value now to sync it with the weather simulation. So there's basically no performance difference at all. In fact, it may be a little bit better in performance just because the weather simulation's been cleaned up a bit. All right, so next thing is AI. Not been a ton of changes with AI, but a few interesting ones. First, we have the new Feral Sense option, which is when you go to start a game, it's part of all the other AI options that are in there when you're loading the world. We have 4 choices for Feral Sense, which is the zombies sense you exactly the same as they do now in A19, but you can set it for day, night, or both, or all, which is both. And what that does is it essentially gives the zombie a big boost to their seeing and their hearing. It is settable in XML per zombie, so it does vary a little bit, but typically most of the zombies get a boost of over 100%, so they can see and hear you from quite far away. The dogs and the zombie bears, which are considered zombies, they also have feral sense. They have slightly different values. The bears are not quite is not quite as high of a number as like the typical zombies, just because I was trying to save your life a bit there, because zombie bears are nasty, but it's still like doubling of their normal seeing and hearing. So yeah, definitely adds a lot more combat to the game, I would say. A lot more. You can't get away with just wandering through towns and stuff as much as you could before. You are going to attract zombies to you much more easily. Yeah, look at that pretty heavy fog right there going on with that snow. The other main change to AI has been ducking. This one might be, I'm not sure how we can show this one off, but typically the reason this ducking got added to zombies is because in some of our new POIs, in some of the tiles for like random gen, there are sewer pipes, a fair amount of them actually, and we have these large round 3-meter diameter sewer pipes, and you could very easily put certain blocks, half blocks, like at the edges of the sewer pipes, and zombies would just plain catch their head on them, get stuck. So the simple solution to that was make zombies be able to do what a person would do in real life, which is, well, duck your head so you can walk under something. So that's what they can do now. It's not the same thing as being able to go through 1-meter holes. They don't do that. It effectively just says if somebody builds 1.5-meter certain combinations of blocks where they put something that hangs down a bit, doorway trim, whatever it is, zombies can now duck down, makes them shorter, and they will just walk under stuff. So it just makes it a little bit harder to, to mess with the zombies and get them stuck on things that they shouldn't be stuck on.
Yeah, I was trying to see if there's any sort of scenario like that in here, but
yeah,
I don't really
it's a fairly rare case. It's like a lot of our stuff, is designed to be clear 2-meter heights because we don't want the zombies getting stuck on stuff. But yeah, you kind of have to find like the round pipes or go out of your way to make to put down certain blocks that would cause them issue. But anyway, we don't need to show it. It's in there. It's you'll see that zombies basically just hunch over as they walk. You can see them do it. So now we can next I want to talk about vehicles. We have it's the same vehicles in the game as 19, but we've added 2 new things to vehicles that you can do. Mods, we now have vehicle mods, so you can finally put stuff into those slots. So actually, if you just drop something down there, and then
I feel like that gave away something right there.
Oh yeah, kind of. So, all right. Well, actually, we'll talk about the first thing. You'll notice that vehicle is not yellow anymore; it's white. So actually, if you were to, Lathan, if you were to grab yourself some dies, the standard dies that you find in the world, grab a few of those fun colors, and then if you modify it, it goes into that cosmetic slot that's been there for a while. But if he places his bike, now he has a red bike, or I guess it's red.
Yeah.
And green. It's pretty hot green. So now you guys can finally tell your vehicles apart from each other because it takes the white base color that's in the vehicles and tints it with whatever the dye is. And it works on all 5 of the vehicles. They all start out now as a base white color. And you add the dye and it'll make it tint to white to whatever you want it to look like. So there you go. So now if you go back to talking about mods, if you open the creative menu, you can, I think if you type in vehicle or mod, one of those, yeah, they're at the bottom there. So there's now 5 vehicle mods, and they are fuel saver, off-road headlights, supercharger, expanded seating, and reserve fuel tank. And yes, the mods work in all the vehicles, with the exception of seating. Expanded seating does not work on the bicycle or the gyrocopter.
Oh, I wanted to put you
Because,
on the
well, the
handlebars.
gyrocopter doesn't really have an extra seat right now, somewhere to put you, and the bicycle is like, well, that's your beginner vehicle. You don't get to put another person on it. Too bad for you. But you can extra seats to the mini bike, the motorcycle, and the 4x4. So this is the fun part where I was going to join your game, and we can see it, the two-seater at work. Watch the game. Someone asked if the light mod worked on the gyrocopter. You might be able to add the light mod to it. I'm not sure that it actually works because I don't think anything has been done with the gyrocopter as far as having a light in the first place. So, because the light mod, all it really does is just make the lighting stronger, which is the same thing that the fuel saver mod does, make your fuel last longer. The supercharger mod makes your top speed a little bit higher, your acceleration's a little higher. And, well, actually, there's two fuel mods, because the fuel saver causes you to use less fuel. The reserve fuel tank just increases your maximum fuel that you could put in the vehicle. So you can put any of those mods in there together, provided the vehicle has enough limits. The lower end vehicles don't have as many slots, so there may be some cases to where you can't put every one of those mods simultaneously on the vehicle. But yeah, he has a lovely purple bike there.
Yeah, it is.
All right, I am in the game. So if you go ahead and put the seating mod into the motorcycle, I will
I think I did. Hold on, let me double check.
join you.
Yep.
As soon as you accept my party invite, I can
Oh,
find
yeah.
you. There you are, 300 meters away. Oh, look at those vehicles just waiting for me. All right. So he's on there. Did you put that mod in the vehicle? I'm not
Here,
looking.
let me double check just to make sure. Vehicle expanded seating mod.
Yeah. I wonder though if we just found a bug. You may have to unlock the vehicle for me to actually ride, which kind of makes sense, I guess. Although I should probably see if you were in.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, so that's interesting. So
Oh,
that's a new one. So
oh, look at us.
it's so precious. I need to watch on your stream because
Oh,
there's a little bit of a glitchy bug right now with clients and riding on vehicles where the camera jitters a bit. On my bug list.
this is a little magical,
so
everybody.
You and your buddy can now roam the wastelands in your your hot rod motorcycle. And yeah, someday maybe you'll be able to shoot from the vehicle, but we'll see if that gets done before gold. Someone just asked about the mini bike. So if you can hop off the mini bike, or hop off the motorcycle and put down a mini bike, and then add the mod to it, and then unlock it, of course. So
Are you still in that vehicle?
yes, I am. And you guys will see if you can see my position
Hold
on
on.
the vehicle. And somebody asked, so now I'll hop off. All right, here we go. Mini bike.
All right, hold on. Let me put the
It's
seat
currently
in.
locked, so I can't do anything with it. I can't jack you right now because it's all right. Let's go, man.
Oh, wait a minute. Should probably put some gas in it.
Yeah, if you take the mod out while someone's attached to it, they get detached from the vehicle. I actually tested all those combinations quite a bit. So yeah, if someone's in there, you can. And yes, it does look like Dumb and Dumber kind of. So you might qualify for that. But yeah, so you and your buddy can ride around on a mini bike. Yeah, and you do need to find the mod. I believe there's recipes for all the mods, so you're either gonna have to find them, buy them from a trader, or make them yourself. But no, the mini bike vehicles don't move slower because someone else is on them.
What happens if you lock it while someone is riding?
Look at the other person.
Is it
The passenger animation is going to change. That's one of my last things on the list. The hands will actually not be sticking out like they are. It's actually going to move the hands like down, so it'll be on your legs in a more natural seating position. Yeah, fuel is the same too. We don't do anything with like weights on the vehicle. We're not trying to see, if you made a fat dude for the game and his top speed is slower or anything. We're not doing that. So the 4x4, not only can you put 3 people in it, you can now put 4 people in it, because when you add the seats, it actually adds 2 seats to the back of it. So you actually will have the 2 guys sitting in the front seats, and then you'll have 2 guys hanging off the back, facing backwards. So they actually sit in the Jeep right now. Anyway. And yes, you can get hurt in a vehicle as a passenger, just like the driver. If someone shoots a rocket launcher into the vehicle, you're both gonna feel it.
Yeah.
All right, so that is it with vehicles, and the last thing I have is block placement. So if you get yourself some nice wood blocks, we can have fun with stability. And
what's our basic block
just
called?
Do, the cube one or whatever, wood. If you type in wood and get the one with the shape icon on it, that doesn't look like it. You may have to hit the filter on the top left corner, the little wood icon underneath the word all.
There it is. You got it.
Yeah, there it goes. For some reason that shape one doesn't. I'm not sure what the rules are for that. So basically, if you just build something up like 3 or 4 blocks and then start building out horizontally. Oh, and that's another thing I forgot about. You guys are seeing the new block animation. We'll call it an animation. Really, it's just moving the preview around. The preview now has a smooth, interpolated thing. And see how that's turning yellow? Now what's going to happen? It's red. Go ahead and place it. Uh-oh, there goes your blocks. So yeah, it basically what it's doing now is it's calculating stability on the fly, and it's giving you a hint with the color of what's going to happen as you place those blocks. So you can see that's going to collapse. So if you go back to the root, without ruining your creation there, and you were to reinforce it, you would see that you'd be able to build out further if you added more blocks, made it like say 3 or 4 wide. And pretty much that works in almost all cases. There's probably a few edge cases still to where the shader is like the wrong color, but it's pretty rare. In all the typical building cases, it seems pretty reliable and solid. And when it turns red, 99% it's going down. But yeah, someone asked if you could collapse POIs easier and faster. I mean, sure you could, because when you're placing blocks on it, you'll see when it turns red, or you'll at least be able to know you're getting more and more yellow, meaning you're headed towards red, and it will it will collapse. I'm not sure that it really helps you collapse it faster. It just tells you where you're headed. But yeah, so and the general look of the whole preview frame has changed. The way it glows and looks, it's been cleaned up. Now, if you go and find something like the Drawbridge, Lathan, if you pick like the Drawbridge is a pretty good example. If you just grab the Drawbridge, the creative menu.
Got it.
Yeah, it's just the regular one. I guess that's it.
Yeah, let's just get on the ground.
So if you were to place that like on the side, like try to put that in a stupid spot where it's not going to stay up. It should turn pink to basically tell you it's not stable. If it's a little tricky. Normally, you have to, if you go back to the blocks that you added and try to put it where it's just slightly over. Yeah. See how like you had it for a second there. See how it's turning pink? If you place it there when it's pink, it's just plain falling. So it does tell you that it's gonna fall. Yeah, there you go. And in that case, it actually brought the other blocks with it. Oops. A lot of times it would just fall without any other blocks coming with it. It does not impact mining and cave-ins. The stability is basically the same in the game. We did make, with the block changes to get rid of like cobblestone and the reinforced concrete, we did change some of like the glue values that are used by wood. It's actually a little bit sturdier. I think wood is now sturdier than it used to be. But the whole point of that system is not to change what's happening. It's simply an indicator of how stable things are that you're building them. It's like not making you dig through caves faster, slower, or anything different. And it only affects when you're placing blocks. If you're upgrading blocks, there's still no way to know what's going to happen when you upgrade that block, because we don't try to tint blocks that are already placed in the world. I mean, that could be a feature we add someday, but that's a very different can of worms, is to take a pre-existing block and to try to put a ghost frame around it and guess its stability, because whatever it's going to upgrade to is going to turn into something else. That's a whole other can of worms, trying to make that work and sort that out. And that is everything for me.
Okay. Sorry, I was trying to get to slingshot me, but it just wasn't working.
No, it doesn't actually really work.
Nope. That's good. That's good. Okay. Well, trying to think. There's something I'm forgetting. Oh, yeah, wait a minute. No. There is something. Hey, I wasn't wrong. Give me just a moment. So I need to restart, and hopefully we should get the dismemberment working so we can show that. And then I also have something that Alok told me to read out loud. So I'm going to read that too, because Alok was not able to be here. The time zone he's in, it's like 4 a.m. there. So I get it. I'm going to exit. I'm going to save these changes, and then hopefully we will get this one to work. Actually, I don't even think I have to exit. I just need to make sure that's saved. And hopefully, if this doesn't work, then I just need to copy over the XML. But I think I uncommented the right XML. We're going to see here. Or it's going to break. I have good feelings on this, though. Actually, it won't break. It's just, it may not do anything. But I think I uncommented the right stuff. I don't think there's anything else I could, yeah.
You'll find out. I mean, if you get a lot of errors, you'll know you messed up the XML.
Yep. We will find out. Man, got the hiccup for a second. Okay. So, let's First off, set time 3. Let's get noon. Let's get a club. Let's get
There's also the TDS command there.
TDS.
Yep.
Okay, and then now, hopefully, if I was to turn on DM, and then where are you, Steve? That didn't work. Is that correct?
Was
Did it?
Yeah, it just exploded. It's supposed to be one that's left there that still kind of jiggles.
Okay, well then here. Hold on, everybody. I'm just going to copy over the file that I should have done that to begin with. Give me just a sec. Hold on. Let me click over so you're not just seeing. Oh well, you're just going to see that. So that's. Nope. Never mind. I lied. Let's do that one for a moment. All right, so I'm going to copy something over real quick, and then we're going to take a look at it again. So just give me just a moment. If actually here, you know what? Why don't we do this for a moment while I'm getting everything going? We could have let's put Shawn back on the screen. Shawn, we're going to show your face again. While I'm doing this. I know.
But I put my pajamas on.
Well, too late. Too late, sir.
11 o'clock after all. It's pajama hours. So.
Too late. Okay, so if you want to answer a couple questions while I am... Actually, if any of you want to answer some questions.
That's what I was just thinking, so you
Just,
went right in the direction of my head.
Just have at it, man.
So weather pattern length is not exposed in XML. The probabilities for in the biomes XML file are basically the there's a listing for all the different weather types for each biome, and there is a probability for each, but the overall weather cycle is a global thing that's run in code, and there's not, you could mod the code to change it, but you can't just do it by XML. Someone asked about the particles. If we could put particles on stuff showing that it would be weak or falling apart or whatever, that's not so much the main issue. Like when you're upgrading stuff, you have to do all the stability calculations. It's a lot more complicated than that because you actually have to run the stability calculations to say, if this block was not here and it was a different block, the upgraded block, what would that do with all the stability of all these other blocks around it, and then have to run through all of those and maybe do something with like spawn some particles if they're at a certain threshold or whatever, but it's not trivial. It's not something we're just going to run off and do. It would be a fair amount of work. Someone asked if stealth is useful. I don't know if that's in response to Feral Sense. It still is. Stealth still works with Feral Sense on. It's just like if you were to say, okay, without stealth, this zombie's going to see me at 20 meters. With stealth, he'd have to be 5 meters from you to see it. Feral Sense simply pushes those numbers out so that in the normal case, he might see you now at 50 meters instead of 20. And in the stealth case, instead of seeing you at 5 meters, he sees you at like 12 or something. So stealth is still useful. It will still save you from distant zombies, hearing and seeing you and running off to you. It just basically, it pushes the distances down, which is all it does right now. It just pushes the thresholds for seeing and hearing down. That's what stealth does. So it still does that for Feral Sense. And if you put points into stealth under agility, it's still going to boost it up even more. And you're going to have reasonably good stealth with Feral Sense turned on. It's just sneaking through POIs is probably going to be pretty hard. You're probably going to be waking up a lot of stuff. Someone asked if I was a drummer. Yeah, I've been drumming since the 90s. I'm pretty good, played in public here and there. I'll say church, but for what that's worth. But we play some pretty rockin' stuff in churches sometimes. So, but yeah, I love drumming and singing. I haven't played that thing in a while though. I haven't done much drumming in like 4 or 5 months. Haven't touched it. But
Okay.
I like to drum on my table a lot. I drum in my head. I drum on the card, whatever. I drum on anything within reach of me when I'm in the mood.
Okay, so it's working now. So I'm gonna get rid of you now. We're gonna go back to what we were looking at a second ago.
I saw a quick question on the drone stealth I wanted to answer. They wanted to
Oh,
ask
sure,
if
sure.
the flight was going to be tied into it, and yes, eventually it will. Right now, it's not.
Okay. But don't worry. We are going to be answering questions. I just wanted to make sure this was able to be shown. So let's get Steve out here. And then if I come up and I go... Well, that wasn't as impressive because I kind of crushed him like that. Here, let's get the machete out. I blocked it.
A whole bunch of Steves.
Come on, Steves.
So
There you go. Look at that. Off with your head.
each damage type is slightly different. So on the blunch, you'll see a little bit of different ones. As you can see, just chopped off that guy's arm there. You can have a couple different points, so hands can come off, legs can come off with the legs and the knees. This is kind of a continuation of what Ryan showed off. Now we actually have the system in and working. This is our first zombie here that we have added working with it. And each one there, if you can kind of see on the blunt there, each one can have an animation with it too. So there's a little bit of jiggle when he first hits the head coming from the animation.
They hit you if they don't have any arms. Yeah, zombies can. They bite you. There is a attack animation of them lunging their face at you, so it's considered an attack. It works. Because, taking zombies' arms off is not new. The way it looks is new, but you could take their arms off before. And like that dude right there, he could still bite you.
So it's just an option right now as well on the blunt to have it be dismembered. It may only be in certain circumstances or something, but for now it's just every part can be dismembered or have an animation.
And no, you can't take the jaws off to make them pets.
Aww.
You can't have zombie pets. That's not a thing we're gonna do.
Zombie companion.
Maybe in the sequel, you can, 10 years from now, you can tame a zombie and.
There's the particles aren't quite done yet there. Those were just some I kind of had to work with, so those will probably get a little update here too from Brett. He's also been working on it as well.
Yeah, no, it looks good.
Yeah, if they don't have heads and legs, I think. Yeah, I'm not sure if they can still move or not. I don't know. I haven't tried that in a long time.
Oh man, it's the end.
And normally you won't.
Back with the stormy weather again. As you guys can see, just from the amount of times the weather has changed during the last few hours, it does change quite a lot now.
Okay. Well, is there anything else you want me to show on that, Steve?
That's. I think that was good. That's pretty much it there. I think that's enough hack and slash for one day.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do, everybody. I'm going to exit back out. I think that's the end of our kind of presentations. Let's see if I can get everybody on the screen. Let's see. Okay, everybody. Zach, put your pants back on. We're gonna be showing everybody.
They're back. You're good.
Okay, so let me now do this. There's everybody. So yeah, try to keep the questions related to stuff we can actually answer. But we can answer a lot of questions. So I mean, just really, yeah, just I guess start asking, and yeah, we will.
So Dolly actually got a video of music working on YouTube. We could have her just like post it here in the chat.
That's fine, or I can play it. Here,
that's
hold on a sec. Let me get rid of you all. Because I think she sent it to me. Let me look.
Yeah, I don't know what it, because I was able to, I was able to get it working in Engine, like I said, and she got this video of it just now. So
Okay, here. Let's do this. Hold on a sec, everybody. We're going to click over.
Yeah, someone was asking for more sunny weather, and it actually is sunny overall. Force says an 83% chance to be clear weather, so I'd say that's plenty.
Hey, Sean, hold on a sec. We're listening to the Blood Moon music for just a second. Hold on.
I can't hear it, so I guess
I know. It's okay.
and yeah, so you're getting the music here, and it's yeah, like it's going to be more dynamic than this, like as you play, but this is just kind of getting a snapshot, so it'll actually like kind of, like I said, it'll kind of heat up and cool down and all that stuff. I honestly, I mean, I have it working in Engine, so I might be able to stream it too. I could fire it up if we want to do it that way.
It probably wouldn't come over well.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
I mean, they're getting it.
Yeah, so I mean, just know that like as you play through the night, you'll actually like it'll go like all the way down. Like I think you're kind of hearing all of the actual tracks at the highest possible intensity there, but
Yeah.
it'll actually like kind of like ebb and flow with your threat level. So whenever you like kind of get lulls between waves, it'll just kind of become like a like a little drum, and that's usually how it'll start at the beginning of the night too. So
And you're back.
all right.
Okay, so yeah, go ahead and yeah, continue with the questions. But yeah, everybody, that's everything we were wanting to show. So we'll try to kind of answer some questions as we see them.
There are no visible changes to the vehicles with mods installed, other than the headlights getting brighter. That's a visible change, but no, the mods right now just change values. They don't actually change how it looks.
Oh, hey, someone just reminded me. I said I was going to read what Alok said, and then I never bothered doing it. I just said that yeah, that I was going to. He's going to be watching the VOD going, what a jerk. He said it like 3 times he was going to read this, and then he never did. So Christian Illy would have loved to have been here. But like I said, it's late for him. I mean, it's like 4 a.m. Let's see. A lot of the stuff... okay, so don't read this word for word. Okay. So I'm going to read this word for word. There's been some... okay. He's done some changes for the modders. There's been some tweaks to different aspects, like loot containers being referenced by name instead of IDs. Different hard-coded UI parts now being in XUI. Logging issues regarding XML patches. And then I guess the biggest change would probably be the support to load code mods on the clients natively. So... but like I said, he wishes he could have been here, but I mean, I understand. It's It's early morning for him, so but we do appreciate everything he does. So anyway, so now continue with the questions. We've done everything now.
I did see some here. Someone had asked about animal dismemberments. Right now we are not. That still uses the old system. So I'm not sure. Possibly. The other one is they asked if the drone combat still exists, which it does, but it is not around at the moment. That'll probably be in some form of mod.
Yeah, there's no shooting from vehicles. It might get added someday, but not for Alpha 20.
Let's see. Hi, how can I activate the celebration mode, please? Is to my wife's birthday. There is actually if you hold shift and press F6, there is a game event window that you can choose the different game events, and just search for celebrate. I mean, it's right there. You click it, all of a sudden, every time you kill something, they will pop, and you'll hear a kazoo. Any improvements to questing? Yes. Quests are closer to the trader. There is the new quest type. The quests can call the game events, which the game events can do all sorts of stuff. So yeah, lots of improvements.
I saw another one about the stealth level for noise. That does not at the moment, but that is also something that will get put in.
Vultures are still going to attack you in vehicles. That's not changing. Gyro's not easier to control. It's supposed to control like that. When we add a helicopter, maybe someday, it'll be easier to control. Gyros are not helicopters. They're basically airplanes.
There's probably a good one for you, Shawn. Is there a plan to allow scaling of how aggressive zombie corpse garbage collection is? Mainly because I'm spawning more zombies with the integration.
It would be nice someday to have a manager of that and actually remove them as needed when too many build up, removing like the oldest ones or the ones that are farthest away from you or whatever, but no work's been done on that yet. We'll see if that gets done for gold. There's a lot of things we would like to do before gold, but we only have so much time.
Yeah.
I did see one here about drone navigation and POIs. That has been improved. I mean, we didn't show anything here, but maybe next time. It's definitely a lot better.
Painting ... anything. In the Twitch integration, there's a painting view, like a visual view now. So you said anything. Everything will look like an oil painting. I feel like that's not what you wanted me to answer, but you didn't really ask it very well, so I was able to put whatever answer I wanted.
Who is Fatal? Fatal is me.
That's Shawn. Is there any chance of inventory size being expanded? Probably not. I mean, you can ask whenever Joel and Rick are here. They would be the ones, I think, who would make that decision. I don't think any of us... Yeah.
I saw one for Zach, something about ambient sounds. Do we add new ones or something?
Yeah, so we actually, interestingly enough, that was on the 20 roadmap, but a lot of like our new ambient sounds went out in a point release. So they like ended up wrapping up early. So, and for anyone who's like, actually playing 19 now, you should be seeing a lot of that stuff. So yeah, it's out. But for anyone who is like, just waiting on 20, it's out there if you play it now. So
Are the new triggers attachable to any door, hatch, etc. that currently it went away? Hold on, takes power. So yes and no. So it is attachable to the actual doors and the actual hatches, not the player spawned ones, not the player electricity ones. It's just the normal doors and normal lights and stuff like that, because it has nothing to do with the electricity system, as it's not a player system. It's a system for level designers to be able to add more interesting kind of activities inside a POI.
We may have first-person vehicle cameras at some point. I actually was doing a little work on that today, just to allow you to zoom the cameras in closer to the vehicle. I think it would be a fairly easy thing to add, and it would actually help with debugging in general. It's probably something we could release to the public as a normal feature. We are using Unity. That is the game engine we use.
I saw another question here for dismemberment related to explosions. Right now it does not, but we are looking at other damage types. The only thing at the moment right now is blunt and blade, but could also include bullets and explosions at some point. And yes, the drone can be dyed. In the same way you would do a vehicle. The system's not quite as nice. It applies one complete color at the moment. There's no nice masking going on.
But it does work. So
it does work, yes.
Better than nothing. There is chrysanthemum, goldenrod, and cotton. They're not new per se. Their art has been tweaked a bit, but their meshes are different, and it does like height differences between the different mesh planes, so they actually look a lot better than they used to. But it's technically the same, more or less. And actually, someone asked about plant colliders earlier. Plant colliders are actually different now for all the ground, the small plants, not counting trees. They all actually have a unified collider now. They have the same exact collider. It doesn't match the shape of the plant. It actually is designed to match the shape of the block, because we had bugs with like plants that extended outside of the block. Their colliders extended outside of the block, and you would get some weird cases of trying to hit something and you would collide with the plant that was outside of the block, but then it would not pick the plant. It would pick a different block. So essentially I removed all of that vagueness by saying plants have fixed, consistent colliders that stay within their blocks, and they seem to work well in my testing of just running around punching random stuff. It should be as easy to do this stuff as it was before, without some of the odd edge cases. Performance should be similar between 19 and 20. There's probably going to be a few cases where it's worse, like if you're in big cities, big downtown areas, lots of buildings around you, it's probably going to be somewhat worse. But in my testing, if your computer's good enough, it runs really smooth and nice for me on my system. But if you have a low-end old computer from 5-8 years ago, like laptops and stuff, it's probably going to struggle in those scenarios. But I would expect that you're already kind of struggling with the game in general.
Yeah. So I got one. Is Restore Power Quest only in certain POIs, or can it be in any? So it's going to be only in the ones that, I mean, they have to have the generators added. It's the same thing as the fetch quests. There has to be fetch bags added by the level designers for it to work. And another question, will there be variations of the Restore Power Quest like there are for Fetch Clear? It will actually be just Restore Power and Clear. I don't think we're going to have a restore power by itself. I thought there was one more about... Oh, and if you damage the blocks beneath the restore power, will they collapse and break the quest in progress? That I'm not entirely sure, because with the fetch container, we let it float. And so we might do the same thing with the generators, even though that's horribly cheesy, but we might do that just because accidents could happen. I can't answer for certain on that one.
So I saw a few for the drone. One of them was, will the drone occupy robotics slots? The answer is no. We had discussed this, and it just works out better, kind of keeping it separated from the turrets rather than forcing you to choose. Another one is, it doesn't keep up with vehicles. The answer is yes. It would teleport to catch up to you if it's not quick enough with you on foot.
Someone asked about vehicle speed. Vehicle speeds are generally not going to get any faster. It's a factor of how fast chunks load, and if you're playing on a multiplayer server, you're at the mercy of your internet connection, how fast chunks get sent from the server to your client, so they can be generated to make colliders, so you actually have something to drive on. So if vehicles get too fast, you're just going to end up with stalls to where your vehicle is going to freeze while new stuff loads. So we actually have a bug with that right now where it's kind of bad for no particular reason that I know of. Some of the testers are saying it's happening more often. So, but yeah, I don't anticipate us making top speeds of vehicles much faster at all, short of the current supercharger mod that we have for the vehicles, which push it up maybe 10% or something like that. One by one meter paths for zombies is not in the game. It's something we're thinking about. We've talked about adding, it may happen in like Alpha 21, but not right now. Their actual height, I think, is around 0.4 meters when they're ducking, somewhere in there. And yeah, we do have a 4-seater vehicle now. The 4x4 with the seat mod gives you 4 people in the vehicle. There still is the gap between terrain and blocks. That's kind of like a complicated issue with density values. It has been improved though with how POI designers can actually use more extreme values than they could before, which will allow them to race some of those seams. But when you are just digging and placing blocks, it's still an issue. I actually tried to fix it, and then there were a lot of weird edge cases where it would just be broken, and it would be fixed in the one case, but then it would be broken in different cases. So it's the same. Yeah, we're not planning on adding smell back to the game.
The truck and the motorbike have the same stats except seating, so that's a balance issue for solo players. I mean, I guess so.
I think there's a slight speed variation between the two, and yeah, but I mean, they're essentially fairly similar vehicles. It's like, yeah, we're not necessarily
Well, the storage, yeah, the storage.
Every vehicle totally different from every other vehicle. In fact, the more vehicles we add over time, if we add more, the more they're going to tend to be like some other vehicle that's already in the game. And we're not planning on adding multiple seats to the bicycle. We could do it, but
I mean, it sounds cool.
I don't think the bicycle's appropriate.
No.
It's a starter vehicle, and you don't get a second seat on it.
But don't worry, everybody. It will be easy to get a bicycle. We're not going to tell you how.
Easily be modded in. Someone could very easily add a second seat to the bicycle.
Oh, yeah, easily.
All you got to do is change vehicles.xml, and you can do a whole lot of fun things with seats. You could add 10 seats on your Jeep if you type in the right numbers and do some copy and paste in there. Yeah, there may be some more vehicle mods. I would guess we'll probably add a few more before we go gold. And someone actually asked about when we were planning gold. That's an unknown. We do have general. We don't have an exact timeline for when we want to go gold, but we have a general, ideal internally of it would be nice to go gold by, X amount of time.
I saw one about the drone asking about its health. Its starting default value there is just kind of a default number. It does get some extra bonuses from charismatic nature. At the moment, we don't have it degrading or doing anything, so no, it doesn't just lose health over time.
Yeah, we're not adding an option just to turn zombies off and leave bears and dogs. It's a zombie game. If you don't want the stuff, you go into creative mode. Yeah, it's a zombie game. We want zombies out there, so. Artists use all kinds of modeling software. Some of them do use Blender. I like Blender. I've used it before. They also use like 3D Max and some of the other ones that I've never touched and don't know much about.
I can't wait for zombie squirrels either.
It could actually happen, no joke. So
it would have to be. It would have to be just a little bit bigger. Like it couldn't be the size of a squirrel because if it's moving really fast and so it'd have to be like just a little bigger, like it got mutated a little bit. But I think it would be great.
Well, I mean, with scaling, we can scale stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure there is an artist that's starting. That did say recently he was working on a squirrel. So
Brett said it on here. So yeah.
New
He
texture, nasty squirrel texture, and make it bigger. And yeah, we could have a zombie squirrel. And I'd give it a 50-50. You may see a zombie squirrel someday.
I was requested earlier to make from Will, I think, to make a zombie rabbit animation, which I don't do animations at all. So
he just asked for anything.
You don't animate stuff?
I may be misrepresenting him because I think he had some issue with that that statement of it.
But yeah, the squirrel would be very cool. So I don't know. I vote for it. So, but I vote for a lot of stuff. Don't know that it's going to happen. I'm voting for the helicopter. Don't know if
Pimp
we'll
zombie.
get to that. I'm voting for the raft. Don't know if we'll get to that. I hope the raft will be our next vehicle, so we can have our water random maps. But I don't know if I'm going to get that or not. That's my dream, though. Islands and boats and we'll see.
Return of the Hornet. Just to let y'all know, most of the time, if we pull something out of the game, we're probably not putting it back in. I mean, we don't retire things for a few months and then put it back in. If it's out, it's out.
Because if we take it out, it's probably gone. So just like learn by doing, nobody wants to add that back to the game. So.
Pimp Zombie win. That's what I would like to know too. Because I feel like that one actually was approved. I feel like Rick actually said, hey, let's do it. He was here earlier.
Picking up vehicles will stay a thing. We don't have any plans to change it. Not to say that we couldn't put some kind of limitations on it or something for Alpha 20, but like one good one would just be to make you move slower if you have a vehicle in your inventory.
That would
That
be
might
good.
be one way to say, yes, you can pick up the vehicle if it gets stuck or, you know, you just built one or whatever, but it does slow you down.
That's a
Maybe
good
we'll do
idea.
something like that. Yeah,
That's just a passive effect. Man, that's
exactly. So
that's actually not that hard. I could do that in a few minutes. This is great. Thanks for the ideas, everybody.
the low-hanging fruit. Yes, you move at half speed when you're carrying any kind of vehicle. But it would be nice to make an exception for the bicycle because bicycles
Yeah.
are lightweight. Throw that on your back. You can carry that around. Why not?
I saw a question here for the drone too. What does it take to power it? Right now, at just unlimited solar energy, it doesn't take anything. So potentially in the future, I mean, we looked at gas or other different things. Right now, at least at this moment, it just you can use it all the time. It'll never run out of power.
It doesn't take grandma's cookies and love. Yeah.
Defend the trader quest and trader with something or other. So we do plan on doing more quests as we work towards the full quest line. You know, finishing up, you meeting the Duke, meeting Noah. But we don't have exactly how that very last part lines up. So you'll have to wait and see.
Here's a question for you, Steve. When will the drone be our new AI overlord?
From day one.
That's end game, right? That's going to be our end game. That's the end game. After you defeat the Duke and conquer the desert or whatever, then then the drone says, "I don't think so," and enslaves the wasteland.
He's the final boss.
Great. Yeah. And then you have to pull his battery out, and then you win. That's your goal. Yes, it is an ex-Amazon drone. Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, I don't know that we're going to do any improvements for off-roading of vehicles. To me, they drive fine. You can drive around hills and stuff just fine. You know, I don't expect them to be able to go up vertical cliffs or do insane things. They're not super powerful tanks. They're wheeled vehicles. And maybe someday you'll get a tank and it'll just plow through stuff. But don't hold your breath on that. Zombie fishes, maybe someday. Don't be surprised if the shark shows up someday, maybe, for that water world that I wanted. Yeah, you gotta love the modders make us look bad question because they whip something together in 5 hours and whatever. There's a slight difference of a different bar of quality that we go for versus what modders typically go for. We try to test our stuff a whole lot and make sure it fits in with the whole scheme of the game. So sure, I could run out and add, a flying carpet to the game in a couple hours, but it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't fit in, and we don't want a flying carpet in the game. But yes, there's all kinds of crazy stuff you can do by modding things. But that doesn't mean we want it in the base game. No, the raft's not working yet, but I give it a couple days of work and it'd probably be done. I just haven't had it yet. Must fix bugs, Alpha 20. It never ends. There's always like a dozen. You fix a few and they give you a few more. So.
Let's see. Any other questions?
Yeah, I don't think we're doing more ammo types. Yeah, we don't want an insane, like, you need 380 auto and we don't need, like, it just makes the game overly complicated for our target audience. We're not trying to make a military simulator here. It's trying to make a fun general game that lots of people can play and figure out without reading a manual. So yeah, while adding like 5.56 would be more accurate for like an M16 or assault rifle or whatever, I don't know that that's what the team really wants to go for.
So there was a question, will Power Restore require like a repair kit or wrench so it's not just kill and hold E for a successful quest? There is more to it than we saw tonight. I don't really want to give everything away, especially since it wasn't working, so I couldn't demo it anyway. But there will be some surprises with it. It won't just be go up to a press E and, hey, everything's fine, I'm going on to the next one. There will be some interactions you have to do. So,
Yep, the Tetris game will pop up, and
then you gotta knock out 6
2
rows,
minutes to solve the blocks,
and then
awesome.
Yeah, I mean that's. Then you got to beat Pong, and then it's just. I mean, it turns into a whole thing. You're not gonna be able to do it that quickly, and if you don't do it in 30 seconds, it blows up the building, and you fail the quest. Was the dog companion idea dropped completely? I believe so, yes.
Yeah, just too many issues with pathing and animation, making it look that the drone was a lower bar to do than trying to do a pet that has to, has 4 feet that moves around and follows you, and generally nobody on the team. A lot of things come down to, does anybody on the team really want that, really care about that feature and push it and get the rest of us to buy into it? And a lot of times it's no. It's like,
Question of will the drone attract zombies? The answer is yes. Through its flight eventually, and the sounds it puts off.
although it's probably not going to do it for Alpha 20, right?
Not for Alpha 20. It'll probably be a patch.
Do biomes get their own musical themes? No, they do not. But we do have biome-specific, like ambient stingers and stuff in there that mentioned earlier went out in a point release. So, but yeah, nothing like new on that front. That was the thing we never actually like quite announced, at least like this. But it's point release, so that's how it goes, I guess.
Yeah, the drone is in Alpha 20. Somebody just got scared what you said, Steve.
Yeah.
The drawings in Alpha 20. All the stuff we showed, you saw on the screen, is in Alpha 20. The light.
Suckers, you're not getting it this time.
Zombies is not in Alpha 20.
Oh man, I'm kidding. Sorry.
And zombies don't attack the drone. They don't care about the drone.
No. Yep.
The zombie dog is actually getting uglier, so yeah, you won't feel bad about shooting it because it's getting pretty nasty from what I last saw. Oh look, someone's complaining about crickets at night, which I assume they mean crickets. I agree. I certainly get sick of hearing that sound sometimes too. Yeah.
No, you probably won't be able to make the large generators. Those are different than the electricity ones. And there's not going to be any new actual electricity stuff in Alpha 20. So. And if someone can ban Roland for asking about zip lines once again, we've talked to him about it. Just
Well, I told him we added them last year. They're invisible. We use that monofiber nanofilament, and you can't really see them. But you gotta be careful because they'll take your head off if you walk through it. I guess he just hasn't stumbled across one yet. Well, I mean, I guess if he did, he'd be dead, so he wouldn't be able to complain about it. So yeah.
Roland, we added it in, but we hard coded it where you can't see it to your Steam ID.
Steam ID,
So
yep.
everybody else can do it except for you. We just asked everybody not to say anything to you about it.
Line of sight is already quiet for zombies. It's been that way for years. What people need to understand, though, is zombies tend to detect you by hearing more so than seeing. So yeah, a lot of times zombies are using the sounds that you make, and the little sounds can attract them, like one little footstep. So just depends on the scenario. You might not be moving, but it kind of depends on. And that's the other thing too. If you're generating heat, your base has torches and stuff in it. The zombie may be investigating your base, not so much you. So while you think he's coming to you and you're standing there doing nothing, he might actually just be coming to that general area, random area in your base that happens to be right near you. Yeah, we could do a parachute maybe someday. That might be the solution to pressing E and falling out of your gyrocopter is use your parachute. Yeah. Could be handy for jumping off buildings. Who knows?
Actually, I'm going to have to add in a buff that... So, with the Twitch integration now, they can kick you out of your vehicle. So that's not an insta-kill situation. In the gyrocopter, it's going to give you a fall resistance buff. So that whenever the next time you hit the ground, it'll ignore the damage.
Yeah, I mean, it does kind of stink if you press E while you're in the gyrocopter and fall out. I don't know. We could do a press E twice or some way. I mean, if you want to jump out of your gyrocopter and it's in the air, yeah, you should be allowed to do that. It's just a matter of when should we not allow you to do it, so it's not easy to do if you don't mean to do it.
I don't think we'll be adding a wingsuit, everybody. I just don't see that happening. Yeah,
there's some other games that actually do that. It's certainly not planned. I'd rather spend my time on like a nice helicopter than worrying about wingsuits. Expanded seat mod counts for 2 seats in the 4x4. The 4x4 goes from being a 2-seater to a 4-seater with the seat mod in there. I thought about splitting it up and making you have to put 2 seat mods in it to get 2 seats, but that is kind of complicated, and the simple way was just the seat mod unlocks whatever extra seats the vehicle has, and the 4x4 happens to have 2 extra seats. Yeah, I could see maybe doing hold E for exiting gyrocopter. If its wheels are not on the ground, we could use the pop-up radio menu that we have now with that could
be
pop
kind of
up
cool.
and do exit.
Yeah.
So if you just tap E, it forces you into the radio menu where you have to say exit vehicle. Maybe. Yeah, if you use a passcode on a vehicle and unlock it, someone else, should be able to ride in it. Actually, that's what it's doing right now. I don't know if it's going to stay like that. It's a little weird. I don't know.
Spring-loaded boot so I can bounce down the road.
Get right on that. Yeah, the little bird, that's that's one of those little flimsy bubble dome helicopters. It'll be something probably along that line, probably more modern, a small attack helicopter. You know, maybe put a couple rocket pods on the side, something fun. We'll see if that ever happens. How many alpha updates before release? Probably just 1 or 2 more before gold. Based on how long they've been taking, not a lot. Yeah, the vehicle sound effects, we're not planning any major changes to that. I know some people complain about the horns. Maybe someday it'll get an overhaul. You'll get a manly horn mod that, makes the, it shifts the horn down, like 2 octaves. It's, I don't know. Stuff like that is pretty low priority. You're not going to find a lot of people on the team going, man, we got to change those horns, because I don't even use the horn on the vehicle. So I personally don't care. Clown horn, yeah.
I think we've already said we're not doing an auto run.
Yeah,
Pretty sure Joel
flip-over
said that,
vehicles could be a thing someday. I thought about maybe making hard impacts throw you out of the vehicle. It's not necessarily the easiest things to do, because there's collision issues with turning the player on while he's in a seat and not having the physics system do some nasty roll it out in a way that I don't want it to remove the player. But yeah, we could turn Ragdoll on and kind of maybe throw the player out, but it's not a clean thing to do. Which goes back to the whole, yes, a modder could go boom and turn your collider on and you're in the middle of the vehicle and something horrible happens, but I don't really want it to look like that. I prefer a nice bulletproof solution that works on vehicles in cases. And yeah, so I don't know.
We already said there's not going to be any zombie kids, so y'all can stop asking.
Yeah, no kids. We're not going to be killing kids of whatever type.
Will there
All
be
of our actors 18 plus?
will there be more variation in map generation? That is a beautiful question for next Wednesday. That is the whole topic of next Wednesday. So definitely be here for that. Actually, guys, it's getting a little near the end. I mean, we can answer maybe a couple more if anybody. Yeah. If there's any others that you guys want to answer. There will probably not be logic gates in the electricity system. I mean, you don't really need to make a computer out of this. I mean, you're just setting up some traps, man. Come on.
Yeah, you don't want Minecraft, Redstone, Super Logic, whatever. I made a computer inside of my game.
I mean, I'm betting that's what you want, but I mean, I'm just saying, I don't think it's really necessary, and on servers and whatnot, it could cause a lot of extra lag when it's not a necessary survival feature.
Will the vehicles ever get a radio that plays music while you are driving? I like this idea. We don't have any plans for it, but it's kind of awesome.
You'd have to get a lot of music.
Pretty much if someone said, can music come out of my butt while I walk down the street, Zach would probably go for it. Sure. Anytime chance
That too, yeah, it's a good idea.
game, I will take it.
I don't know, it's like a thing that GTA does that I've always liked.
Yeah.
The problem with that is, I mean, we'd have to either get, I guess, Native Darkness to make us a bunch of music.
Oh yeah, it would be
And,
a lot.
It would have to be a whole lot, or else it'd get
Yeah.
annoying after a while. If it's 3 songs on a loop,
Yeah,
just every
I
time you
mean,
get in.
It's the type of thing that like it could be done, and I don't even think it would be that hard. It just would be super content heavy.
Yeah,
So.
no, that's my point. Is I mean, we'd have to get so much for that not to just be an obnoxious kind of. Oh my God, it's playing the same song again.
Yeah, because I would be like, give me 15 minutes with your music loop, and I'd be ready to delete the files.
We'll just repurpose the trader music, and
It's just the trader songs over and over.
Yeah, the engine player, multiplayer, engine sound on vehicles. I've not looked at that yet. I'm pretty sure we have a bug ticket for that. It's down the list somewhere, number 63 or who knows.
Roland Talk Radio. Oh God.
People
Sure,
wouldn't
go
be
ahead and get
ejected
started,
from the
Roland.
vehicle. We would need the ejection seat mod to cater to those people who, please let me leave now. Yeah, someone asked about vehicle health for the motorcycle and 4x4. Not planning on lowering it. Yes, you could change it in XML. It's in vehicles.xml. There's health values in there for all the vehicles, but I think the number's fine. What it is. You want those vehicles to be pretty sturdy and not just explode because you bumped into a few sides of buildings. And actually, we're not planning on making. Someone asked earlier about zombie damage from vehicles. Not really planning on increasing that much, or probably making maybe as a mod, for instance. Someone did ask about removing spikes from motorcycles, adding them back for a mod. The problem is we don't want the game to turn into a zombie, run over zombie simulator. The game's not like, get me a 4x4 and then let's drive through cities and mow down hundreds of zombies. It's like, you need to work for it a little more than that. So, yeah, it's nice and fun to knock down the zombies, cause some damage to them, whatever. But, yeah, we're not going to be like insta-killing dozens of zombies just because. Unless, I will throw one caveat in there. If someday we add a filler weak generic zombie like we've talked about, maybe there might be a case to where those are ways to kill. You could one-shot them in vehicles, but they're just fillers, and they pad out the zombie population without messing the overall balance of the game.
I saw a question here. So for the drone, the armor mod, even though zombies can't attack it, other players can still attack it, and other damage types can still affect it. So if it gets blown up or something and takes too much damage, it would shut down. Another player shoots it, it would shut down. And effectively, the armor just reduces that by half.
Well, guys,
I guess I'll just add to that a little. We did look at potentially having them attack zombies, but the drone's definitely a lot more agile than a zombie. So you just get in a situation where you had a drone flying up above their head and a whole pack of zombies chasing after it.
Well, I think it's about time for us to call it a night, guys. Unless there's one more question everybody wants to answer, we can do one more, and then let's pull the plug here.
Vehicle mod for more torque going uphill. Technically, the supercharger mod already does that. It does increase the engine torque and the top speed, so it should make going up hills easier.
Okay. Well, yeah, let's go ahead and call it here. Thank you, everybody, for being here. We're glad everybody's enjoying these nights that we're doing. This is our 5th one. We have one more next Wednesday, which is the Random Gen. Definitely be here to ask all your questions. You'll get to see a lot of the new cities and stuff. So it should be really fun. And yeah, thank you guys for you three for being here and answering questions. And yeah.
Been fun, and yeah, looking forward to next week and all that random gen.
Yeah, no, that one should be pretty exciting. And then we are going to do some playthroughs after, but I don't really know if we're going to keep the same schedule or if we're going to take a week off and then hit them, or I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, so thank you again, everybody. And we are actually going to go raid someone.